The Steelers go back on the road for the third time in 4 weeks to kick off their 2024 campaign, this time going up against the Indianapolis Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium here in Week 4. Welcome into Steelers Talk. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now for our live watch parties all season long. We will be going live at 12 p.m. Eastern Time for the watch party for Steelers versus Colts. We have the largest Steelers watch parties on the YouTube platform every single week. Over 50,000 people watch our streams every single week. So if you want to join our family and kick it on game day with thousands of other Yinzers, make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now. So let's talk about this matchup, man. Steelers currently 3-0, looking to go 4-0 against a struggling Indianapolis Colts team. The Colts just have one win, and it's against the Chicago Bears, who aren't exactly the best football team right now, and they let the Bears stick around last week, which was kind of a travesty given how bad the Bears offense played in Week 3. Now you guys can see the results so far for Indianapolis. Okay, they were close against Houston at home, but Houston hasn't looked fantastic through the first 3 weeks either. They lost to the Green Bay Packers in Week 2 and Malik Willis, and then in Chicago, or against Chicago last week, they were able to get a W. So I'm looking at this team right now, and I just don't know how impressive they are. And we'll talk about the reasons for that today, but what you can expect from these guys schematically, Shane Steichen, their head coach, is an offensive genius, in my opinion. He's absolutely awesome. He made Gardner Minshew look like a decent starting NFL quarterback last year, almost made the playoffs with him, right? So the offensive scheme that they're going to run is a modern pro spread offense, lots of shotgun, and Shane Steichen does call the plays himself. Then on defense, they still run the old school Seattle 3. This is pretty much the only team in the NFL that runs the Seattle 3 in its truest form. So lots of cover 3 match coverage. Gus Bradley it definitely has his system. Not even Dan Quinn, who came up with the Seattle 3, runs this defense anymore. So it's kind of outdated in my opinion, but we'll talk about that defense later on. The impact offensive players for the Colts, Anthony Richardson, second-year quarterback out of Florida, has struggled to start this season, but we'll get into his scouting report later. Jonathan Taylor is still that dude, in my opinion. Still pretty darn good. The offensive line is very underrated. This might be the best offensive line in football, and we'll break their O-line down later in today's show as well. And then their two receivers, Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce, a good duo there for the Colts. Then on defense, they have some impact players, but a lot of them are hurt. DeForest Buckner, their star defensive tackle, he's on IR. Liatu Latu is somebody that I was very high on coming out of UCLA in this year's NFL draft class. He looks like a stud. Kwity Paye is dealing with an injury right now, but he's a very good run defender. And then Grover Stewart, their nose tackle, is also very good. And then, they don't have a bunch of really good corners, but Kenny Moore II, I advocated for the Steelers to make him their slot corner this year, if you remember our offseason coverage this year. But Kenny Moore is their number one corner at this point, and with all due respect to Kenny, he's not necessarily a number one corner. So injured players right now for the Colts. Samson Ebukam, one of their starting edge rushers, out for the season with an Achilles. He's done. DeForest Buckner on IR with an ankle injury. He's not going to play in this football game. And then Julius Brents is also on IR, one of their starting corners. So we'll see on Kwity Paye and Kenny Moore. Both of those guys left the game last week against Chicago with an injury, so we'll keep you guys updated on their status as the week goes on. But what you can expect from the Indianapolis Colts is that they're going to be very well coached, but right now their defense just doesn't really have the horses, in my opinion, to be effective. So I do think, although these two teams here with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts, they're very similar offensively because they both want to run the football, they both want to control the clock. I think defensively, the Steelers defense definitely outranks the Colts as it stands right now. So still to come here on the Steelers Talk Week 4 preview, keys to victory versus the Colts, Anthony Richardson's full scouting report, then also the Week 4 score prediction from yours truly. You're going to want to make sure you stick around to the end. But before we get into the rest of today's preview, let's have a word from our sponsor here at ZBiotics. And folks, we all have busy lives these days and can't afford to waste a day stuck on the couch because of a few drinks the night before. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol is the answer we've all been waiting for. Pre-Alcohol is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to drink this probiotic before drinking alcohol, drink responsibly, and get a good night's sleep to feel your best the next morning. As you guys know, I don't drink alcohol, but I work with people who do just about every single day here at work, especially on NFL Sundays. And let me tell you, working with Coop on Monday after he drinks pre-alcohol on Sunday mornings makes my life a whole lot easier. And what you're going to get when you get the probiotic here, you get this little pack here. It comes with 6 vials. It's very, very high quality stuff, guys. And you just drink it before you start drinking alcohol, and then then you enjoy your day essentially. So see for yourself today when you go to zbiotics.com/chatsports. You can also scan the QR code on the screen right now to get 15% off your first order when you use Chat Sports as the code at checkout. You can also sign up for a subscription using my code so you can stay prepared no matter the time or occasion. ZBiotics is backed with 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason with this product, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head on over to zbiotics.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS, one word, all caps, CHATSPORTS, at checkout for 15% off. Thank you to ZBiotics for sponsoring today's edition of Steelers Talk. The first key to victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers this Sunday is going to be stopping the run and stopping Jonathan Taylor. Because make no mistake, man, Jonathan Taylor is still a very, very good running back in the National Football League. He might not be the truly dominating presence he was just a few seasons ago, but running behind this Indianapolis Colts offensive line, he is still extremely, extremely effective. And then also, guys, don't forget about Anthony Richardson either. He is big and physical and extremely dynamic with the ball in his hand. And running behind this offensive line here, you look at what they're working with here. These guys are ranking among the top 10. 4 out of the 5 of them are ranking in the top 10 at their respective positions, and the one guy that's not, Braden Smith, their right tackle, is still 14th out of 73 offensive tackles ranked by Pro Football Focus. Now, PFF grading isn't gospel necessarily, but, if all 5 of these guys are playing well right now and all 5 of these guys are ranking well in their grading system, this is a legit offensive line. Quentin Nelson, their left guard, is definitely the star piece here, but everybody here has experience with each other. Everybody here is extremely effective. This might actually be the best offensive line in the National Football League today, and they go under the radar because of Anthony Richardson and the defense. So listen, man, at the end of the day, just like it was last week with the Los Angeles Chargers, if the Steelers stop the run, they stop the Colts, all right? So they did a very good job against the Chargers last week. I expect them to do a good job against the Colts this week. I guess we'll see how everything plays out. Because when it comes to Anthony Richardson, he's going to make mistakes. And if you can take advantage of those mistakes on defense, you're going to win this football game pretty easily. You take a look at Anthony Richardson. I think he still has a ton of potential. I think he has a good feel for the game, but the accuracy and decision-making are still huge, huge red flags. He had multiple interceptions last week that were some of the most ugly interceptions I've ever seen. The accuracy is still so hit and miss. He'll make a big play on you every once in a while, but the consistency simply isn't there. He's got incredible arm talent. He is a dynamic rushing threat, and at his size, at 6'4", 244 pounds, this guy is a freak of nature, but as he stands right now, because of the consistency and the lack of it, he's a bottom-tier starting quarterback in the NFL today. Then we move over to the offensive side of the ball and what the Steelers need to do. They just need to keep the offense afloat because I think the defense is going to once again do their thing, and they're going to keep this Colts offense to under, for sure, 20 points in this football game. And, you just got to stick to what's working, all right? I'm pretty sure Justin Fields is going to be the starting quarterback this week. I'm filming this on Monday before Mike Tomlin makes any sort of announcement on the quarterback, but I'm assuming it's going to be Fields. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing, man. Not turn the ball over, complete passes, take what the defense is giving him. And you got to maintain the competency here. You can't be turning the ball over, all these different things. If you just do what you've been doing on offense here last 3 weeks, you're going to be just fine if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. So fill in the blank for me down there in the comments section. The Steelers have a top blank offense in the NFL right now. We all know the Steelers defense is top 3 at minimum, probably the best defense in football right now. But what about the offense? Are they top 15, top 10? Are they not very good at all? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Speaking of the offense here, got to feed GP in this football game, all right? Listen, man, when you got a guy like George Pickens, and as talented as he is, if you got a matchup against a defense that doesn't have a true number one corner, you got to feed that number one receiver, all right? We know the connection that Fields and Pickens have with each other. You got to feed into that, man. And, if they double team George, then that's going to open up other opportunities for guys like Calvin Austin III, like it did against the Chargers. Again, for guys like Scotty Miller, maybe Van Jefferson, maybe Roman Wilson. We'll see. Definitely Pat Freiermuth as well. But if you feed George Pickens, you get him the football, good things happen. I don't think Kenny Moore even has a prayer of covering this cat. Then we get to the turnover battle here, and you just got to protect the football, all right? If Fields throws an interception or has one turnover, it's not ideal, but you probably won't lose the game. But you would lose this game if you turn the ball over 2-3 times and you give the Colts incredible opportunities with short fields, all right? You cannot let that happen. You want to make the Colts earn everything that they get against this Steelers defense. So it's up to Justin Fields. It's up to Najee Harris. It's up to the Steelers offense to not turn the ball over, because I have a feeling the Steelers defense is going to do their thing. And if you just do what you're supposed to do here, you should be able to come away with a victory. And you look at what Fields has done. He has taken care of the football through the first 3 weeks. He did have a bad interception, I will say, last week against the Chargers, but one interception through 3 weeks, one turnover period in the first 3 weeks is definitely good enough to get things going here. And, I think that because he threw an interception last game, that might mean that he doesn't throw one in this one. So make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon right now if you want the Pittsburgh Steelers to win and improve to 4-0 on the 2024 campaign versus the Indianapolis Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium this weekend. Like the video, appreciate your guys' support. So my official Week 4 score prediction here is 27-13 Steelers. I think that this defense is going to get after it. I think that once again, Justin Fields and the Steelers offense will protect the football. They'll stay out of long yardage situations. And I think George Pickens has multiple big catches this one. And I think that they score 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and then the Colts will score 1 touchdown, 2 field goals, and I think that's the difference in this football game. So now it's your turn. Let me know down there in the comments section. Predict the score of Steelers versus Colts in Week 4 this week. I have 27-13 as of Monday. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We have in-depth previews like this for every single Steelers game, every single week at the beginning of the week to get you guys ready for the next week's matchup. So if you want that kind of in-depth Steelers coverage every single day, make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now.